Hello and welcome to my very first marketing video. I'm EddieTheOrange, and have you ever wondered how you fit all of this stuff that you have to do to make your YouTube channel successful? How you fit all that stuff into your schedule? Well, stick around because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about time management for Minecraft YouTubers. Now there's a saying that I heard a while back. I'm not sure who it's credited to. I tried looking it up but couldn't find it. But it goes, you can always tell what's important to someone by looking at their calendar. So if somebody has family time or significant other time scheduled into your calendar, you know that that's important to them. On the flip side, if they don't have anything scheduled into their calendar, what do you think is important to them? What we want to do today is change your relationship with time. So if you find yourself always being late or saying things like you're too busy or there's never enough time in the day, that usually indicates that you don't have a good relationship with time. And what we want to do today is change that relationship. We want to learn to respect time. We want to respect others' time. We want to respect your own time. This is another saying that I heard that I could not find a credit for as far as who said it, but it says that you only have time for what you make time for. What that means is if you don't make time for it, you will never have time for it. Something I've found over the years of learning about productivity, time management, and then also learning about money management is that the way you manage these things are actually very similar. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of universal things that carry over from managing money that you can use when you manage your time. So things like paying yourself first. You want to set aside time for yourself first and make sure that you have time for yourself first. Otherwise, you won't have the skills and the clarity and the focus that you need to do the other things that you're paying elsewhere. So things like exercise, meditation, sleep, those are things that you would pay yourself first for and make sure that you have time for first. Learning new skills, learning new information, things like watching this video. You want to make sure you set aside time for yourself to do those things. That way, when you go to do the other things on your calendar and the other things that you've scheduled out, you're a lot sharper, you're a lot more knowledgeable, you're a lot more energetic when you go to do those things. So that's why it's important to set aside time for yourself first. The next thing is set aside time for giving back. I think it's important to give back both money and time to things that are important to you, things like charities or helping other people, things like that. I think it's important that you make that a priority. So set aside time for giving back. Put appropriate amounts towards your obligations. So in money, this would be things like credit card debt or mortgage or whatever. In the time world, this is things like work or kids events or birthdays, things like that that you have to attend or have to be there for and that you can't really get out of. And what I mean by appropriate is if you're spending too much time on those things, work, for example, is the biggest example of this, then maybe you need to cut back some of that a little bit if you're able to. And that's what I mean by appropriate. Spend liberally towards things that are important to you and ruthlessly cut out spending on anything else. A guy that I follow named Ramit Sethi has a little bit of a different approach to budgeting money. He's got a book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Highly recommend it. Go out and look it up. But in it, he talks about not necessarily cutting out lattes or whatever it is that you enjoy just to save money or make progress towards your money goals. He recommends that if you like lattes, yeah, absolutely keep spending money on those, but look at your spending and find out what you don't enjoy spending money on, maybe fast food or credit card fees or whatever it is that you don't enjoy spending money on, and look to those things to cut those out instead of the lattes. This could be things like spending time with your family that you enjoy or playing video games or whatever it is that you really enjoy, and then cutting out things that you don't enjoy doing. Maybe that's watching random videos on YouTube or wasting time on Facebook or binge watching House of Cards or whatever it is that you don't necessarily enjoy doing, but you find yourself doing it anyways. Make sure you ruthlessly cut those things out so that way you can allocate more time towards the things that you do enjoy, like spending time with your family or your significant other or building your YouTube channel, those sorts of things. So what we want to do first is figure out where your time is going. How do you manage your time? You're probably not managing at all if you're still watching this video. Now, a way to track this and figure out where your time is going is a very neat tool that I found a while back called Rescue Time. You can find it at rescuetime.com. It's actually with an E. This is rescuetime.com. It's an application that installs into your browser. It also installs onto your computer. You can put it on your phone. And what it does is it tracks your time when you spend it on different applications and on different websites. And it even has a feature where you can input offline time. So if you are watching Netflix or sitting around vegetating on the couch, you can put that information into there manually. And you want to do this for about a week and see where your time is going. So, and what it will do is it will put out a nice graph and categorize things. So that way you can kind of see how unproductive or productive you've been. Now, something you'll want to do if you do this, and I recommend doing it, is if you're playing Minecraft to record, it's probably going to log Minecraft as gaming and unproductive. But if you're recording it, you can just recategorize that as productive time because it is going towards something productive in recording for your channel. But that's it. That's Rescue Time. I recommend checking it out, downloading it, installing it on all of your devices so that way you can see where your time goes. And then from there, you want to prioritize that time. So things like sleeping, your obligations, personal time, family time, friends time. This is how I personally prioritize my time. It might be a little bit different for you, but you just want to go through and figure out what is most important to you and what is least important to you. So to just run over this real quick, how I prioritize my time is sleep. Sleep's very important to me. Then I've got my obligations, things like work, kids' events, holidays, kids' birthdays, family birthdays, those sorts of things are up there. From there, I go to personal time. So I'm paying myself first. In sleep is the first place that I pay myself. And then I've got my obligations. And then things like exercise and meditation and learning new things. I have a Udemy account, udemy.com. And I've got several courses in there that I just always like learning new things, especially towards marketing and video making and personal growth and all sorts of that kind of stuff. So set aside time for yourself to do those things. Then from there, I've got family time. So date nights, family nights, those sorts of things. Then friends time with my friends, dinners, get-togethers, birthdays. From there, I've got chores, cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping, business tasks, recording, editing, uploading, marketing, and then leisure time is the least important for me. So casual gaming, movies, TV, vegging out on the couch, etc. So now that you know where your time is going and you know what is most important to you and what is least important to you, you want to start at the top of that list, the top of your priorities list, and go to your calendar. I recommend Google Calendar. At the very least, I recommend an electronic calendar. That way you can automatically set recurring appointments. So, for example, sleep. You would set that every night for however long you want to sleep. And then you've got work. You can set Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 or whatever it is for you, and set that up once, and it will carry out throughout the rest of however long you want to set it for. And that's why I recommend using an electronic calendar. And again, I prefer Google Calendar. That way you can do that thing. You can do that without having to manually write in on a paper calendar everything that you want to do every day. But anyway, you start at the very top of your list and you start filling in your calendar. So put in your sleep, put in your obligations, put in your family time, and just work your way down to the bottom of the list. Fill in the gaps as you work towards the bottom. Cut out anything that you were doing that wasn't important to you. So oversleeping or binge watching TV or whatever it is that you don't enjoy doing or that you don't want to do anymore, cut that stuff out and don't put it in your calendar. So as far as the time it will take to run a channel and grow your channel effectively, here's some rules of thumb that I've figured out over the time that I've been doing this. For some people, it's going to take a little bit more. For some, it's going to take a little bit less. But this seems to be a good average as far as time commitment to making videos and growing your channel and all that good stuff. So one thing you want to do every day is spend 30 minutes to an hour engaging with the audience in the community. So things like replying to messages on YouTube or Twitter or any other social accounts that you've got. people that have messaged you back or messaged you, you want to be sure to take some time to respond to them. You want to go to different forums, relevant forums, and start threads and reply to threads and give your input, all that good stuff. So you want to spend about 30 minutes to an hour per day doing all of that. Now, a finished video is generally going to be about 30% of your recorded footage time. So, for example, an hour-long recording will result in about a 20-minute video. You're going to cut out dead air, boring stuff, whatever it is that just isn't relevant to what you're trying to do in the video. You're going to cut out those things, and it usually will end up to be about 30% of the total recording. And then a finished video will be about 10% of the total time that you need to complete it. So that includes recording and editing. So if it takes you about an hour to record it, it's going to take you about an hour to edit it as well. So for a 20-minute video, you're going to need about an hour of recorded footage and then about another hour to edit it, totaling for 2 hours. And 20 minutes is 10% of 2 hours. So that's what I'm talking about there. I hope that's not confusing. If it is, just ask me in the comments or send me a message or whatever, and I'll be happy to explain it to you. Now, you want to spend another 30 minutes to an hour per video for SEO and promotion. So you want to make sure that your title and description and tags and everything are conducive to good SEO. We'll be doing another video on that at some point, but just know that you need to spend some time making sure that that's right and that when people search for certain things, they're going to find you and your video. You also want to take some of this time to share the links to all your social accounts. So Twitter, Google+, Reddit, StumbleUpon, share it in any relevant Discord channels, any relevant forums, so Minecraft forums or video making forums or whatever, and make sure you're sharing that link all over the place, as many places as possible, so that way you've got a lot of backlinks pointing to that video, and that makes the search results, makes you rank higher in the search results, so that's why that's important. And then on top of that, you want to spend about 30 minutes to an hour per week to plan your content for that week. And this doesn't have to be detailed, just get some kind of idea about what you want to cover in the videos that you're going to be recording over the next week. And that way you use your time a little bit more wisely while you're recording. You know exactly what you want to do and how you're going to go about doing it. And it will take you less time to record. You'll have less dead air, less things to edit. You'll record it a lot faster. So that way everything is more efficient and you're not using as much time to make a video. So an example for one 20-minute video per week with a bare minimum for all the other things like engaging and SEO and all that stuff is going to take you about 5.5 hours per week. So that's 5 days of 30 minutes engaging with the community. That's 2 hours for the recording and editing, another 30 minutes for SEO and promotion, and then the 30 minutes that you used to plan out the video at the beginning of the week. That will give you kind of a rough idea of the time commitment you're looking at for growing your YouTube channel with one weekly video. So good luck. Here's some tips if you happen to be going through your calendar, plugging things in, and you're like, Eddie, I'm running out of open areas to plug things into. Here's some things that you can do to help get some of that time back and grow your YouTube channel and make sure you're putting out quality videos and engaging with your community and making sure the SEO is good, doing all the things that you have to do. You can do these things to help get some of that time back and find time for that. So what can you automate with technology? So paying bills, get an online account and set up auto pay, and that will save you a lot of time there. Marketing, you can use tools like Status Brew and several other different automation tools to help you send out messages and follow people and unfollow people and just automate some aspects of your social media accounts and marketing and so forth. Autocomplete and canned responses. I use a tool called TubeBuddy that sets up upload default templates. So I've got a separate template for Titancraft and Simple Life 2 and marketing. And I've just got to click from a drop down and it auto fills in all the tags and all the Simpleton information and Titan information that I need in each one of my video descriptions, all of my social media links, everything that I need to remember to put in there, it will put in there automatically within like a half a second. So that saves a ton of time. And then other templates, like in HitFilm Express, I've got an empty project file that has my intro, outro, all the reminders for consider subscribing, leave a like, Twitter, all of that good stuff is already in there. So that way all I have to do is plug in the new footage, do the little bit of editing that I need to do, and then export it as a video. And all that stuff is already going to be there in the places that I want it. And it makes things a lot faster. From there, you can batch things. And what I mean by that is find things that you do repetitively and chunk them all together into a single session. So say, for example, you need to record 3 videos for the week. Instead of doing that one video on Monday, one video on Wednesday, one video on Friday, maybe on Sunday, you take 3 hours and record all 3 videos at the same time. And then at the same time, you can batch your editing process. Maybe on Monday, or even later on that day on Sunday, you can sit down and edit all 3 of those videos at the same time. And that will help you get into a groove, especially recording or editing or whatever. You got to get into a groove and you start doing things a little bit more efficiently, and you can get all of that stuff knocked out pretty quickly in a single chunk. You can also do things like marketing in batches. You can do things like watching TV in chunks. So maybe once a week or once a month, you sit down and binge watch your favorite TV show. That way you can stay caught up on it and still enjoy it. From there, you can think about what can you outsource. So things like chores, like mowing your yard or keeping your house clean or whatever. You can pretty much find somebody to do anything out there fairly cheap. You can find people that will go, basically you place your grocery order online. They'll go to the grocery store, buy the things, and then deliver them to your house. That way you don't have to go to the grocery store. I've done that a few times. It's pretty awesome. Doesn't cost a whole lot more than it would if you were to go grocery shopping on your own. And the time that you get back may more than make up for that cost, right? So just, you got to weigh that. How much is your time worth versus how much is it worth for you to go get the groceries yourself? Editing and uploading. Maybe you find a channel manager or a video editor for you. Some places you can go are Fiverr.com. That's with 2 R's. You can find anybody to do just about anything on Fiverr.com for $5 in most cases. You can also find virtual assistants. So they can help you keep up with your schedule. They can put things into your calendar. They can do research for you on different topics. Whatever you need done, you can probably find a virtual assistant to help you with it. That's what I mean by outsourcing. From there, think about who might be able to help you do the things that you've got to do. If it's chores, maybe you can get your kids or your spouse to help you out. If it's at work, maybe you can find some coworkers to help you out, help you get things done a little bit faster or a little bit more efficiently, so that way you're not working as much overtime or whatever it is. See if there's anybody that might be willing to help you out, especially if it's going to benefit them. Like your family, for example. If you want more time with your family, but you got all these chores you got to do, enlist them to help you out. Say, hey, I want your help cleaning the house or doing the dishes, so that way we can spend a little bit more time together this evening. And they'll usually be more than willing to help you out with that. And then lastly, where can you trim back? Look at all the things that you have scheduled in and think about where you might be able to trim back. First spot that comes to my mind is sleeping. Now, you want to be careful with that. You want to play with it a little bit, see what is a good amount of sleep for you, and then stick with that. But if you're sleeping too much, try trimming that back a little bit, seeing how it affects you. Things like working, or maybe you can't afford to pay somebody to mow the yard, but maybe you can do it a little bit more efficiently or a little faster. Just start thinking outside of the box and ways you can trim back time on the things that you're doing and gain a little bit more of your time back. So that way you can spend it where it's more important to you. But that is it. I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you so much. Remember to like it if you liked it. If you really enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe. And if you know somebody that could use this information, I would love it if you would share it with them. Be sure to share it. If you got value and you know somebody else could get value from this, share it with them. But that's it. That's all I've got. I'm EddieTheOrange, and I will see you next time. Thanks.